What's up? What's up? What's up, Division 3? Hello again. This is what we're doing now, I guess. We're checking in online for some online learning. I hope you guys had a great and fantastic weekend. In this presentation, I just want to go through some quick cuts of what to expect for the next coming weeks, next coming, wow, possibly months. And you know what? I don't know what it's going to look like, but it could be for the rest of the year. I don't know. I'm holding out to see that I can still see you by the end of the year. And that's my hope and dream, at least. Anyways, let's get started because I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I'm going to go through expectations, routines, what we're going to be doing next, and what you're going to be doing at home. Check out that hashtag. We Div 3. Oh, wait a minute. Is it We Be Div 3? Or is it Web Div 3? As in, we're on the interweb Division 3? Get it? Interweb? Get it? No. Oh, you don't get it? Yeah. Oh, whatever. All right, moving on. This is us. Or it used to be us a few months ago, all bundled up and warm. Look at all us, just cozy and smiling. Okay. The next slide I want to talk about is just using your live workspace. And remember, my house. When we were preparing for the celebration of learning, man, was it just really busy in my head. It just felt full. There wasn't a lot of space to do a lot of work. We were always just moving forward with things, but it just seemed like it was just messy all the time. Well, maybe that's just how I felt. It was just chaos to me, and organized chaos, of course, but I just needed a space to sit down and do work. Now, you are at home now. And this is a time where we've never seen, your parents have probably never seen ever, and you probably will never see again. And it's being able to live and work in the same space. Now, many of you, your parents are probably home. Of course, your siblings are home, and you're just together almost all day. Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Since 2008, when I left teaching the first time, well, that one time, into years and years and years ago, and I went into my business, I had a home office. Since 2008, I've had a home office up until about this year. And what I have to say is, it's difficult to keep work, life, and play separate. And sometimes it bleeds over. And I had it when I was newly married with my wife, and then we had it with one child, and then another came. And then it was really difficult to really separate work and life. And I had to make strong boundaries. When I went back into teaching, I never brought any work home. That's right. I never marked any work. I never answered any emails when I was at home. I never brought any report cards home. I wanted that sharp balance of when I'm at home, I want to be the best father and best husband I can be. It's different now. I have built out my office again to do some teaching, and I'm going to expect a little bit from you as well. So my next point is protect your time. Don't save it. When I give you an assignment, don't save time like, you know what, I'll just do it later. I'll find time later. I want you to protect that time. So if you say you're going to be working from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., do that vigilantly, which means protect it. That's what you want, 9 to 11. No one bothers you, no one texts you, no one calls you. That's your time. If you want to work from 7 to 9 a.m., for sure, all power to you, go for it. But protect your time, don't save it. I'm going to ask you to avoid doing homework when you find time. That's what I just said. Don't just say, you know what? This is only going to take 15 minutes. I'll do it 15 minutes later. Why don't you do it during the time that you said? So protect that. What I'm trying to get here is you're going to find a place to work and find a place to play. And that can't be both at the same time because you need to start prioritizing it. You need to prioritize your work above all else during the time that you set. I need you to find a time, and I prefer that it wouldn't be in the evening when you have like nothing left. Do it in the morning. What else you got to do? Where else you got to go? Prioritize it. Because once you're finished your work, I don't want it to bleed over to your family time. That is the most important time, especially for me, and I want that for your parents, and I want that for you. Again, never in a time in this generation or generations before us has everyone been working at home at the same exact time. Now, I know that some of your parents are probably out for work, but I would say 99% of you are at home with your family. And I don't want work to be in the way when you want to spend time. One of the assignments probably in the future, we're going to create games to, to do with our families. I think it's that important. All right. My job as a teacher is to make sure that I'm giving you my best. I'm going to do my best to instruct you and give you the best directions and get the curriculum into your mind and your brain to prepare you for seventh grade next year, or even high school for next year for all you seventh graders now. I want to be able to have you walk confidently into next year knowing that you know your stuff, instead of saying, well, my teacher didn't teach me that last year. For me, I call this the now normal. I don't think this is the new normal, because this time next year, it's going to be the exact same, and we're probably going to forget a lot of the measures that we're doing now. So this is the now normal. My expectations of you in the classroom are the same for you inside your house, as weird as that sounds. I always expect the best, and I want you to be adaptable. Remember what your best looks like for me. It's always, and let's move on to your job as a student. I want you to give your best. And that means if you have to just set aside time that no one bothers you, your siblings or whoever, just make sure that you honor that time and do your best in the time that you're giving yourself. If it's 9:30 to 10:30 or 9:30 to 12, that's up to you. Now, I know some of you are sharing technology with your family, and so maybe you've got to make a time schedule. And if you only have your iPad or a computer or a laptop for 1 hour in the day or 45 minutes in the day, make sure that that 45 minutes is the best 45 minutes you can give as a student. Whatever time it is, make sure it's undivided. Don't watch any Netflix or Disney Plus. I don't want you talking or chatting by that time. I still need you to be undivided, because your job as a student is to give that focus so that the learning and the curriculum and the core competencies, all of that becomes meaningful. You have to give 100% of your focus and attention, or else the learning actually doesn't happen. So please make sure that the time is focused, and don't spread out your 1 hour of work throughout a 24-hour day. Don't do 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes here. Do the 1 hour or 2 hours when you set that time. Okay, let's move on. Expectations. Ooh, all right. Here are my expectations. And is this new to anyone? Always give your best. Avoid giving me divided attention. When you are sitting in front of the computer or doing your work, make sure that you give your full attention. Do not give 50-50 attention. I talked about this already. It's just not going to cut it. When you're doing online learning, in order to really soak in the content and the subjects, you have to give 100% of your focus. Man, you've got hours and hours to do whatever else. I'm just asking you for that 1 or 2 hours in the day just to hunker down and focus on the activity, which is the next one. Okay, we're going to talk about the time commitments now. So here's the time commitments that we're going to be talking about. Oh, sorry. No, that's the commitment. Okay. Timetable to be discussed later. But the commitment, I whatever you decide to do, I need you to commit to it. 100%, almost like a pinky promise. I'm sticking out my pinky right now. Can you guys put your pinky out onto the screen? It's really corny. Like I'm putting like a pinky promise, and then you take your thumb and you shake on it. All right, now I feel so much better. Whatever you do to commit, please rise up to the occasion and just say, I made a promise to set aside this time, and that's what I want you to do. Okay, that's commitment. Now let's talk about the timeline. I'm expecting, and the ministry is giving us these guidelines of giving 5 to 7 hours of work a week. 5 to 7 hours of work a week. That's it. Remember, school was about 6 hours a day, right? That was a day. Now we're asking you to do a whole school week. A school day throughout a whole week. That doesn't seem like a lot. But as you know, working from home, you can get distracted, and that can go by really quickly. And that's why I'm asking you, please just commit and focus and give that undivided attention, because that's not a lot of time for us to soak in information. I know that other classes will be, not doing as well as Division 3, but I know I'm putting my trust in you guys that you're going to be definitely giving your 100% during the 5 to 7 hours of work a week. On top of the 5 to 7 work hours a week, breaking it down a little bit more, we are going to be working 1 to 2 hours a day. And I'll show you how that sort of breaks down every single day. We'll have a daily routine, which will include the first steps, which I'll talk about later. Remember when we started first steps? It's the typing, cursive writing, multiplication tables. I'm going to have a math question of the day that we'll be able to answer, and an independent reading book, that you will have, and then you'll have time for your subject, whether that be language arts, math, design, PE, project time. We'll talk about that as the time comes. But for each day, just know that you're doing first steps, question of the day, and independent reading every day. Try to be finished all your work by 1 p.m. Why? Because you have the rest of the day to work on other things that you want. You have the rest of the day to be with family. You can do whatever, whatever you would like. Let's put it that way. And now, here are my expectations for community help. We are totally online now, and it's very difficult, and it pains me to know that some of you have questions and I'm not able to solve it as readily as I can. In class, you can just come up to me and ask me those questions. But with the community help, really, your first step before asking for any help is to use your critical thinking. Do your best to read the instructions again. Do your best to look over every step. Don't just skim read. You need to solve the problem yourself. This is a critical step. You don't know how many times I've seen on Edmodo, can someone help me? Can someone help me? Can someone help me? Please, 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 someone help me. Someone help me. Someone I need. And then all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, never mind, I got it. Oh, sorry, not even never mind. Nevim. I got it. NVM. I don't even know what NVM. I guess it's never mind. I got it. So, first step, critically think before you shout out for help. Go ahead and do yourself a favor and look at the steps before asking for help. And that leads me to the second step. Posting on Edmodo for help. Okay? When you post on Edmodo for help, I'm going to be asking everyone. Now I'm pleading everyone. Instead of just reading it, can you now as Division 3 help support each other and answer the questions that you see on Division 3? Can I ask every one of you, everyone, grade 6, grade 7, every single individual in the class, when you see a question that you know the answer to, can you please answer it? Okay. Now, if an individual is asking a question every single day because they don't get it, I will have to talk to them because if it's technology related, we'll probably solve it. But if it's someone who needs hand holding, I will talk to them as well because now you're supposed to be independent. Regardless of the virus or staying at home, right now, like I always say, grade 7s, you're closer to high school now than you were at the beginning of the year. Grade 6s, you're closer to grade 7 now than you were at the beginning of this year. Imagine that. You're closer to grade 7 than you were at the beginning of grade 6. So this is the time to be independent, and you have to be able to critically think yourself, but be a leader and step up and help those in need. Okay, third step. If it hasn't been answered within 24 hours, I will try and answer that question. I know that some assignments will be more difficult than others and some will be pretty easy, but I will try and answer that question. Last point, I will make myself available on Edmodo periodically between 10:30 and 12. Okay, I'm going to do my best to answer questions, whether they come through Edmodo or messages on Edmodo. Avoid emailing me just because my email is just blowing up with things from the district and the school, and it might get lost in there. So Edmodo would be the best bet to get a hold of me, but please do a post instead of doing private messages, just so I can answer everyone's question. Anyways, 10:30 to 12 periodically. Why? Because just like your parents, we wear a lot of hats right now. We're not just be putting our hat on for work, but I've got to also be a husband, a cook, a cleaner, a teacher, a father. Like, I'm at home now as well, and the girls here need my attention. My wife has other things to do as well. She's not just doing the one thing. So we all have to put on hats. So 10:30 to 12, I'll do my best. After 12, I can't guarantee that I'll be popping on Edmodo all the time, but I want to also make sure that I'm available to you. So if there's things on Edmodo that I think need to be answered right away, I'll be on there from 10:30 to 12. However, if I think that you can all answer it, definitely go answer it. If it's something that you can answer it. But if it's like a higher level question that only I can answer, then I'll pop in there between 10:30 and 12. Okay, break time. Here we go. Take a look at that. Remember that? I don't know what Tim is looking at or what. Is Ryan dunking there? Or, I'm not sure. And I like Cindy smile in the back. Lucas and Constantine are doing like a picture frame of some sort. Loving it. And Yinglan, I love how, yeah, great Yinglan. Everyone look over here and smile. I think he's looking at the same thing that Alexa's looking at. I'm not sure. Okay, anyways, let's get to routines. Okay, this is what I'm expecting you. Edmodo updates on the first day of the week. So that's usually Monday, and I'm going to do it at 9 a.m. Okay, just like the school day. Edmodo updates on the first day of the week. And, I forgot to put this on. I'm not doing daily assignments. We're doing weekly assignments. So I'm not going to say this is due tomorrow. I'm at least going to give 2 days, but usually 3 days for you to complete the assignment. I will very, very rarely give you 1 day assignments. All right? On those updates, I need you to like the post before noon on Mondays. That is my way of attendance. So you need to like the post before noon on that day. If I have to make an important post on Edmodo, it'll be before noon on any single day. So at 12:30, if I said, "Oh guys, I forgot this," I won't put that on. It'll have to be before noon. So before you finish up all your work or your day, before you shut off the computer, make sure that you check Edmodo before noon. Now, every day, I want you to do 20 minutes of first steps, and I'll explain first steps later. So 20 minutes of first steps, 5 minutes for number of the day, 30 minutes of independent reading. This is either read to self or listening to reading. And then I want you to do less than 60 minutes or about 60 minutes of the subject activity, whether it's math or language arts or a project or something else. Okay, so that comes up to about an hour, but it's not 5 days a week. I want you to work between Monday to Thursday. All right? Friday is going to be a check-in time or a check-in day for me. I'm going to check in to see how some of you are doing. Will I call everyone? Probably not. But in the future, I would like to do some video conference or an audio call to you and make sure that I check in with all of you every single week and see how you're doing. So let me retrace our steps here. The first 20 minutes is first steps. Okay? So that's going to be cursive writing. It's going to be typing or multiplication. It seems like a long time to do one thing. So if you want to do 2 things or all 3 things, you can do that within that 20 minutes. I would suggest doing multiplication table and then something else like typing or cursive writing. But I wouldn't do all 3. I would avoid it just so you can get deep into one of them. And then do 5 minutes of number of the day. So I'll be posting this on Edmodo for number of the day. And you'll just be doing it independently. You can do it on a scratch piece of paper. You can do it in your head. If you feel like you want to answer, I want you to do that. I trust Division 3 will be doing this, and sometimes they'll be checking in, but you guys are such a fantastic class. Oops, sorry. Ooh, I gotta redo that. Sorry. Let's do this again. Okay, here we go. 30 minutes of independent reading. You can do a number of things. One, you can go on to Sora and get something from the school library. In Sora, you could also go into the Vancouver Public Library if you have a VPL card number. Register for an online account. It takes about 5 minutes. And once you have that, you'll get your password and your username. And you can hook that up to Sora. So in Sora, you could get books from our Shaughnessy Library as well as our VPL, Vancouver Public Library. Now, if you can't get anything there, which I highly recommend you should, go on to getepic.com. You can use your code to get in, and there's a lot of stuff, not as big as the VPL, of course, but there's something that you can get. So 30 minutes of independent reading, whether it's read to self or listening to reading, and then 60 minutes of the subject block. So whether it's math or language arts, which I'll give you more details to come. Monday to Thursday, I want you to be working. So that's about an hour and a half to 2 hours, which would be just within the ministry guidelines of 5 to 7 hours. And Friday will be a check-in day. So I'm going to give up time slots at some point, and then I will be calling you to do a 5-10 minute check-in. Okay? All right. These routines, they're going to change from week to week. But right now, this is what we're looking at. First steps, number of the day, independent reading, and then about 60 minutes of subject activity. All right? And so when I was saying setting up a time schedule for yourself, if you don't have an office, find a space, find a corner in your house on the floor. Just make sure that that is your workspace. And then from this time to this time, let it be known through your whole household that you are doing work from 9 to 11 and that people shouldn't be bothering you, that, lunch will be served afterwards or brunch or something. But 9 to 11, you've brushed your teeth, you've changed, you're not in your PJs, you're ready to learn. Okay, let's go on to meetings. Now, there's a lot of talk about Zoom and Hangouts and FaceTime and Teams, all that stuff. Right now, I'm thinking of having 2 class meetings a week, but it's going to start in 2 weeks from now or maybe next week. So, right now, no meetings. Okay, right now, no meetings. We're still trying to get the routine set, and I want that to be set for you right now. Next, yeah, for now, it's just going to be on Edmodo. And for you to check in, I just need to know, whoops, sorry. I just need to know that you are liking the post. Okay, so like the instruction post so I know that you received it. And if I feel like I need to check in with you, I'm going to give you a call. I'm going to give, I'm not sure when we do video conferencing, we'll do that. Okay, let's move on to first steps. I'm going to find resources for you to do the multiplication table online. If not, you can make flashcards yourself. You can go up to, I don't know, 15 times tables, 16 times tables. Whatever you have to do to make yourself successful for multiplication tables, do it. Do yourself a favor and learn your multiplication tables. Just because it doesn't stop, people. You will need it up until 12th grade. You just need to have that automatic for yourself. Cursive writing. If you can find some, like if you have a whiteboard at home, that's great. Find scrap paper. I'll give you some of our sentences that we work on, and you just practice your cursive writing. Pull up a cursive writing sheet so you know the letters. If you have a printer, you can print that off at home so you can just practice by yourself. Write letters to people. Don't send it out because I think they'd be scared of it. But have these letters sit and wait for about 2 weeks because the virus will die down if you want to do that. Scratch my idea, Mr. Nicker. That was a brain fart. Okay, let's move on. Touch typing. Using the home row to understand where to type. Some of you don't have laptops or keyboards. I totally understand that. If you have a tablet, you can still learn how to touch type, so it's sort of muscle memory. You won't have that indent for the letter F and the letter J, but just as long as you practice on that site that I'll give you, you'll know that you use your ring finger for the letter O, you use your pinky finger for the letter P, just stuff like that. Yeah, okay. We're ending into the soft soon. Let's talk about what's next. So, we've talked about the routine that we want to establish for this first week especially, and next week we're going to continue on with the routine. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start explaining our PE activities. And of course, we won't be able to do big group games like capture the flag. How cool would that be? But a citywide capture the flag would be so nuts. Ooh, I've just got an idea. Okay, let me explore this idea a little bit and then we'll get back to you. So we'll be doing some PE activities, so stay tuned for that. We're obviously going to be doing projects. In terms of the Inside Out unit, I'm going to try and integrate it still because you know me, I've got all these zany ideas. I'm going to have writing assignments and projects. The one thing I do want to get you to get into practice of, not just independent reading and not just doing multiplication tables, but being proficient writers. So being able to give you targeted writing assignments that you do at home is going to be a challenge for me, but I want to do it because I owe it to you as a teacher. So what's next as well? Weekly video conferencing and check-ins. So we are going to be introducing, I'm not sure what platform we're going to be using yet. Some of your siblings are probably using Teams. There's some things I'm also exploring. The reason why I'm still trying to figure it out because I want to have the best platform, not just to communicate, but to really have the classroom atmosphere. And if I sign up for one as a knee-jerk and sign up right away and have you sign up for another one later on, it's just a total waste of all of our time. So let me try and find the best platform for all of us to do a weekly video check-in, and not just video check-in, doing some online tutoring, being able to walk you through assignments. Yeah, anyways, some cool stuff. And then we'll introduce some new technology, whether it be an app or web form or something that we can do at home, and doing stuff like that. And just like Lucas and Vivi in the back and Jake, just think, ta-da, we are donezo. Thank you so much for your commitment. Please rewatch this video if you have any questions about the routine. I'll be posting it on Edmodo, but again, it's going to be simple. I want you to be checking in every Monday of the week for your weekly tasks. but then I'll be updating Edmodo before noon on every day for the first week, and I want you to start liking that post, my instructional post, and that'll be our form of attendance. Just make sure that you're checking in and not checking out. All right? Hopefully you're all well, that you're all safe. Please continue to be safe. Please continue to do the extra measures so that everyone else will be safe. And on that note, peace out.